We're back with the bad vibe with Dwight and Jeremy.
This is episode 129.
That's right.
Right?
It's episode 129.
Episode 129.
I think it's episode 1.
I mean, it's not like anybody's listening.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
All right, so if you've been living under a rock and you don't know anything about like racism or anything that's going on right now in the world, everywhere, has been for a long time. Is
racism new?
Yeah, it's like I'm like racism, right?
The black people are like, we had it so good for so long, but now this. Yeah. Now y'all are being mean to us.
Oh wow!
I wonder what.
Take a knee.
I know you have like something you're trying to, but I wonder what if you took like not even a slave, because that's obvious, but if you took like a black dude from the 30s or 40s. You know, like his brother probably got lynched for whistling at a white girl and shit like. And you brought him here, and he's like, dude.
He's like, y'all are getting upset because that one died.
But I get it.
Neat.
I get it. I get why black people are upset. Yeah. But I just think that the juxtaposition of taking a dude in his 30s, like, you know,
This is like the whole Rodney King kind of thing.
Rodney King,
he was getting beat.
That was a rough one.
This guy was just like,
dude. When you watch that video. That's the funny thing is, like the George Floyd guy did die, but I mean, I don't think the guy was like trying to kill him. They were trying to kill Rodney King.
He didn't die?
No, Rodney King. They beat the fuck out of him.
I mean, I'm sure like all black people know that one.
Yeah. Well, it's funny too story. Because the Rodney King one, the video you have starts with cops just fucking Babe Ruthing him with their sticks.
So you don't know how it started.
Well, the whole thing was they're like, well, you know, like racist people or something. They're like, what you don't know is that he was fighting back at the cops for a while before that. And it's like, yeah, but what we saw, he wasn't fighting back. Yeah. They were just beating a handcuffed man with sticks.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what happened before that. They're like, did you know that he claimed more kids on his taxes than he had? It's like, I don't care what he did.
He didn't look like any king in that video.
No. He was getting the fuck kicked out of him. And those riots were way worse.
So, anyways, oh yeah, no, that's what I've heard.
They like beat up white people just for the
pulled some guy out of an 18-wheeler and hit him in the head with a cinder block.
Yeah, that's Reginald Denny.
That was his name?
Yeah, they're probably like, you have a weird name. They start smashing him in the head with a brick.
He's like, I didn't even know. Yeah. But no, anyways, all right. So, out of all this commotion going on in the whole world with the racism and stuff, and you know, this Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter. Yeah. You know, avatars.
Yeah.
And you know,
I guess, yeah, they matter.
I don't remember them chanting that on there. I don't think Disney would try that. You know?
They should have.
They own all black people. Yeah, they're buying everything, right? They own all blue people, I guess.
If you have a black friend, you can only hang out with him if you get Disney Plus. Like Disney owns that.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. Anyways, like what is it? The Crips, right?
They do own ESPN. So
Disney's
it's kind
the
of
Crips.
True. Yeah.
So all right. Anyways, Amazon wanted to join that little group. Did you hear what Amazon did?
No.
All right. Amazon made it to where there's, you know that Jamie Foxx movie where he's like in prison and then Michael B. Jordan's all like, I'm gonna be your lawyer, you know?
Just Cause?
I don't think he talks like that.
Is it called Mercy? Just Cause? Mercy? Just Mercy? Mercy Just? Mercy know. Calls? Just Cause and Mercy are all in it.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm kind of confused on what I was even talking about.
I don't know the name of the movie.
I thought it was Mercy, but maybe that's something else.
Yeah.
But anyways, he's that movie, and also another black movie one, you know, where they're protesting and stuff.
One of those
Selma or something like that.
Selma, yeah. Selma.
One of those movies. I don't know what it. I'm sure I'm wrong with that, but. Amazon's like, these are free during this month.
Oh, God, I hate it.
So, also...
Although I did watch that Just Cause movie
also,
when it was free.
It was good.
Yeah, it's good.
But, anyway, I think we rented it, so we actually paid $1.95.
Sucks to be you. I didn't contribute.
You know, we enjoyed it, but did $1.95 enjoy it? You know what I mean? Like, did we enjoy it that much?
Like, I assume white people...
maybe $1.23 enjoyed it. Right?
I assume white people made that movie, even though it's about and starring black people.
I really liked it. And it really bothered me when he's in there... Spoiler alert. When he's in there and the guy's like, you need to change. You need to take your clothes off. Cause
and they made...
Check him, and he's like sitting there like, you serious? You're like a lawyer, you know what I mean? And he's like, you're going to have to like take your clothes off. And he's like... He like takes everything off. I'm like, what the fuck?
What I liked about that scene was Michael B. Jordan naked, first of all.
Okay.
But anyway, for the listener, if you haven't seen the movie, he's a lawyer going to visit his client in jail, and the jailers make him get strip searched, even though he's a lawyer because he's black.
Yeah.
But the jail guard guy that does that to him looks like best case scenario me. Like me if I'd made more better decisions.
Better decisions.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, looks like, not acts like.
Okay.
I'm not racist.
So, no, anyways, where I was trying to get at was, there's a whole fucking, channel. You know, when you go to Netflix and it's all, comedies. And it's
there's, black
things
people
you may
channel?
like. There's one that's, black whatever, and then it's, Black History something. And it's all black movies.
There's some pretty good black
now,
stuff out
I've
there.
yet to see a channel
of whites.
Of all white movies.
The other channels.
That's all. Yeah.
Of
all
Netflix.
White. It's like white people matter. White people matter. His white lives matter. But you know what I mean. There's no. There's one that's all cops. Yeah. You know what I mean. It's all.
I mean, there is a show called Cops. That's a white people show.
Yeah, and they're getting black people. Every once in a while, they get some methed up, white guy.
The white people they get are ones that we don't claim.
Yeah,
and the black people they get are just black people in general.
There's a Cadillac getting away. I mean, who's driving it. I mean, they saw a Cadillac. Let's chase it.
Do you ever think
it's a Cadillac driving at night? Because it's probably a bad guy.
Those movies,
white people know to be indoors.
Yeah.
By 8. I mean, it's they know that you're not supposed to be out. It's 9:45 at night on a Wednesday.
If a light's out, it's because he's going to or coming back from work. Mm-hmm. But anyway, what I think is interesting about those movies about black people, usually there's movies about evil whitey. There's a lot of those. Mm-hmm. Well, those movies are made by white people. The director and the financer and the producers and all those white people, right?
Financer?
Yeah, whatever they're called. The rich people that put the money into it. Producer, yeah. I said that, and then I thought of producer, so I tried to act like it was two different things.
The financing producer?
Yeah. I'm just really going with this financing thing.
Who's going to produce as the financer?
The producer. But anyway, those movies, a lot of them are made by white people. And then there are movies made by black people, but there's never a movie made by black people about white people.
No.
Because there's enough white people movies.
On. White chicks.
Yeah, that's the closest you get.
That's, sickening. When I watch that,
they look, the way they look?
It almost gets me as sick to my stomach as, seeing one of the Tyler Perry movies. He actually has good movies, but then there's the ones that are Medea.
Yeah, those movies are rough.
Horrible.
I think those movies set back black people's progress by decades.
I've been to a theater where I was, for some reason, going to go watch a comedy. I don't normally watch comedies in theaters. It's a waste of time. Mm-hmm. And anyways, I was in the theater, and I'm at the top, and I'm looking down,
Yeah.
And there's this, black couple. And, I noticed because... they're black, right? I had to keep my distance.
You're keeping an eye on them?
No, for real. Anyways, there's not many people in the theater.
You noticed because they were talking.
They're a younger black couple. They're sitting there, We're all in a comedy setting, right?
Yeah.
So every one of the previews is going to be something funny.
The good thing about seeing a comedy movie in theaters is it's okay to be loud. Laugh and stuff. Oh.
Well, anyways... a Medea movie comes on, and I look down at them, and they're, straight-faced.
Yeah.
No smile, no laugh, not grabbing any nuts. She might have been.
Yeah.
But he wasn't grabbing his. He never ran off. But for real, they weren't laughing. And I was almost if I laugh, are they going to think I'm, racist? Am I laughing at black?
Look
it
at
wasn't funny.
Black people.
There was nothing funny going on the screen.
The reason I said I think the Medea movies set black people back is because a lot of white people like it.
And they think that's how black people are.
And that's all. Maybe that's their only or their most...
black guys are always dressing up like black women.
Yeah. Maybe that's either their
Fat,
only...
old black women.
That's either their only or their biggest experience with black people, of black people. So they're they're silly.
They're I'm not racist. I like the Medea movies.
Yeah, exactly. That probably means you are.
Yeah.
I know a lot of black people do like it. It's I heard it described one time as because somebody was those movies are so bad. How do any black people like it? And they're yeah, but it's white people with Adam Sandler movies. And I was oh, I get it. I know Billy Madison is dumb, but I'll still watch it.
Yeah.
I'll laugh at certain things. He's chasing around an imaginary penguin, and I think that's funny.
I don't think Tyler Perry and Adam Sandler are on the same level.
I think they are. I think they are.
You think they are?
Yeah, I think that what they make is the same level. Not Uncut Gems, but then you have to consider that You have to compare that with movies that Tyler Perry was in that weren't his kind of movie.
Okay, but if there's a bus stop and
Tyler Perry movies in the back.
Yeah, I was gonna say where's Adam Sandler sitting and where's Tyler Perry?
Adam Sandler, I mean, they're similarly rich, I would imagine. Mm-hmm. Tyler Perry may be richer than Adam Sandler, maybe just because
he's got a lot of money.
I know he does, but I'm saying Tyler Perry, like, I think might own Georgia, the state. Like he's like
that was
big
his
time.
feet in the little picture at the
Isn't
end.
that his production company?
What, Peach?
The Georgia thing?
Oh, I don't know.
It's either him or Steve Harvey.
It's one of them. I would think Steve Harvey, but
yeah, Steve Harvey's also super rich.
Yeah.
What is he to us? What is our version of Steve Harvey?
He's black.
Louis Anderson?
Ugh.
They both did that show.
Yeah, he still does.
Louis Anderson, though, is like, I mean, he's like the kind of gay that makes you, like, grosses you out, because at least, like, if somebody was like, Brad Pitt's gay, you're like, I could see that. Like, I could see fucking Brad Pitt if I had to. Yeah. Louis Anderson, you're like, I don't know. That doesn't seem right.
Does he fuck someone? Or
who wants to fuck Louis Anderson? If he hadn't gotten rich. If he wasn't super rich.
Sorry, Lou, if you're listening to this.
Yeah, if you're a listener. Right. I think Louis Anderson's funny. He's a good storyteller. He had a story on Ari Shaffir's old show.
You think eventually there's going to be a genre of, like, because there's romantic comedy, right? And then there's, like, dark comedy, and there's whatever. There's going to be, like, gay comedy?
I think there is. I just don't think that it's...
No, but I mean, you think they're going to end up, like, labeling it that? You know,
so
maybe something else.
Watch it?
Maybe something else, like, different. But I mean, like, and then, like, trans comedy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, trans comedies are easy because the whole thing is kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's like tits and a dick. Like, how's that not funny? That's funny to me.
Speaking of tits and dick, no, this has nothing to do with that. We watched a movie last night, okay? And it had Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
You know, Dinklage.
The perfect name for a midget.
I mean, Peter Dinklage.
Dinklage sounds like a little dick.
A little dink.
Yeah, it sounds like it means little dick.
A little Peter.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's Dinky. Right?
Yeah.
Anyways, Peter Dinklage, he was in it. And it was a movie about, like, spoiler alert, I don't even know what it's called.
Munchkins.
No, he's...
elves.
Something happened. He's in an accident with his brother. His brother gets killed, and it's some kind of memory thing. Like there's this laptop thing that you can record memories.
Is his brother a midge?
No. So, anyways, they're not like identical twin brothers, right? But anyways, he's the better half. Right?
He's the better 2/3.
The bigger half. Right? Anyways, so in the movie, though, there's this little, like, technology thing where you're able to record memories and go back and, like, watch them, like, as if it's a movie.
Yeah.
So you can go and, like, recall things that you happened when you were, like, a kid. You didn't even know were in your head.
Yeah, I don't want that.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. But the way to do it is there's some, like, you got to look at, like, the good and the bad and, like, happy and all that. So, like, you get different... It's how you focus more.
Mine's just constantly my uncle asks me if I can keep a secret.
Anyways, they explain it better in the thing than I can, of course. You know, I'm not like a storyteller.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, why do we do this?
No, so, anyways, it never... the movie is like 2 hours and like 5 minutes or something like that, right?
It's a long movie for a short guy.
I made jokes the entire time.
Yeah.
I would pause it and I was like, man, that guy was short with him.
It's
you know what I mean?
That's the last thing... Like, you just have to laugh at. They're just funny.
He did something. I said, hey, look, he came up a little short.
Yeah.
Like, the entire time, my wife's, like, rolling her eyes and laughs.
Even what you're supposed to call them is funny. Little people. That's what they want you to call them.
Anyways, the entire movie, 2 hours and, like, 5 or 15 minutes, whatever it was, right? They never once at all during the whole movie addressed that he was a midget.
Ah.
I was glad, though.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of weird. They're, like, looking down at him. The camera views from up in his eyes up to the person. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's weird camera angles, but they never once said he was a midget. Never, it's that short guy. They even tried to describe him in this one part, and they didn't use that.
Oh, well, that's just unrealistic.
You know what I mean?
If you're trying to describe a midget, you're like,
all right, there's one part where they said something about he fits the description that the guy was talking about, and they didn't say, yeah, fucking midget. Mm-hmm. You know, they just said, like, he fitted the description that the guy was whatever, you know?
I can imagine him and, like, he commits a crime and they have him in a police lineup. Everybody else is, like, between 5'10" and 6'2".
Yeah.
And she's like, I think it was the short... They're like, which short one? She's like, really?
So...
The very short one.
Yeah.
It's like...
Everyone 6 foot and up, please step out. Yeah. She's like, way shorter. Way shorter.
And then they do that thing where you have to say, it's like, all right, person number 4 say, "Hey, give me your purse." He's like, "Give me your purse." However they talk. Yeah. She's like, "I think that's it."
So, on the movie was like a crime, like suspense kind of, you know what I mean? But man, it was a pretty good movie.
They're like,
but anybody could have been in it.
They're like, the only evidence we have are tiny fingerprints.
Yeah,
it's like,
like there's some roles in movies where it could be like a black guy, Mexican guy, white, Asian, whatever it is, and it didn't really matter as long as it was good acting.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what this was. It's just like they went a step further, short step, right? Yeah. Anyways, and had a midget in it.
Well, it's kind of like those Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. Not as
I can't think of him as the Terminator. Right?
Sarah Connor's like...
They open up the door and they look out, right? And he's like low, right? They don't see him.
Kyle Reese is like, "He will not stop until you're dead." She's like, "Yeah, okay." All right.
He's got like a little pistol, like a little like 25 auto, right? One of those. He's got like... It's a sawed-off shotgun, but it looks huge to him.
When the truck blows up and the tire comes rolling out, he's just like in it. He's like rolling out in it.
He's riding like a moped or something, right? Oh. He goes into a daycare naked. He's like, "I need your clothes, your scooter, and your tricycle." Oh, that's ridiculous.
Oh, dude. Shit.
He has a huge head.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like big as if it was on one of us.
It is the same size as ours, I think.
It looks way bigger.
No, that's just because he's like 2 feet tall. It looks way
bigger.
I know it does.
He's not 2 feet tall.
If your
That's ridiculous. If he had a head the size of us, but he was 2 feet tall,
like what?
Counting the head.
He's probably, what, like 3.5 feet tall, somewhere in there? But what I'm saying is, like, if you put your head on your daughter, it would look ridiculous, too.
That's what me and my wife were talking about. Because it looked like my son was just walking through the room.
I want to see that.
Huh?
I want to, like, Photoshop... Well, you can just Photoshop a bigger picture of her head on her body.
Yeah.
But, it's not,
I wonder if that kind of stuff's going to start happening more, though, you know?
Yeah, because the people who are, like...
It's not like he was playing a tall guy in it. He was just playing a character, and they just never mentioned it.
What if you had played a basketball player and they never mentioned it?
It's not like... It's ridiculous.
You know how short I look next to a basketball player?
Yeah. What's the one that stands under the goal? Like the tall one?
Like Manute Bol or whatever?
You know what I don't know who that is.
The guy that was like 7'8" back in the day?
Yao Ming.
Yeah, Yao Ming. That's a more recent reference. Both of the guys we mentioned are retired.
He's called Yao Ding.
But what I was saying was that they did that, but remember how in the 90s they used to do Arnold like that? He'd be in a movie and his name would just be like Dennis.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm Dennis," or however he talks. His wife's white American, his kid's just a regular American. It never addresses that he has a fucking, like, Nazi accent.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, "Get in the chopper." That's the only thing I can say. But it never would address it. All those movies, Jingle All the Way.
Mm-hmm. No, he's just like a guy.
Sinbad never once is like, "What's up with your accent?" I guess. I haven't seen it in years. But it's like, he doesn't play a fucking steroided freak Austrian. He just plays an American named, like, Ben. His name's Ben in one of the movies. Nobody named Ben looks and talks like him.
No.
Like, that doesn't exist.
Some guy named Ben is, like, lifting weights, listening. Yeah. He just throws them down.
Yeah. He's like,
to go change his name.
Yeah. He starts seeing a voice coach to stop talking like, "Ah." You know? I hate doing that because I don't do it good, but everybody does it at least kind of good.
Yeah.
You do it.
It's kind of an easy one.
You just, that's all you got to do. That's not good, but you know what I mean.
It's kind of hard to do on the spot. I mean...
Yeah,
Arnold doesn't even have that voice. He's been in, like, California or whatever. Right? He does that, like...
Both
I don't
times,
know how he's doing that with his mouth.
Both things you just said were California to him.
But, like, he's been over there for so long that, like, I don't think he really has that strong of an accent.
It's still strong, but he's been in America longer than I have. He came over here, like, in the 70s. Yeah, and he's still like... I mean... I know families that moved over here, like, recently that speak pretty decent English.
Yeah.
But they would do the same thing that they did with the Dink. They would put him in a movie where he plays, like, just a dude that works at the post office or something. And
I want to see, like, him versus, like, Predator. Predator's trying to shoot, but it's missing, right? Because he's just, like, it's a smaller target.
He's laying, like, he's just got one little mud clot on him.
There's a midget Predator. Right? They're fighting against each other. It's like off a Jackass or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
It's just cute. It's like, oh,
shit.
But But yeah, when they do that, because they do that with shows and stuff and movies with gay people, where they have a gay person in it, and it's known that they're gay, but it's not a plot line. They started doing that more recently because it's more like, like when we were kids, if a gay person was in a movie or a show, that's what it was about.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, that guy's fucking gay. Ugh. Yeah. That was the whole thing. The whole shock value of watching the movie was because there's a gay, like two boys kissing it. Now it's like,
the guy's gay, but there's never any sexual thing. He just is a gay person.
Yeah, it's just like, that he's gay. It's like pretty obvious, but it has no bearing on the plot of the movie. It's not even a plot device. It's just they just make him gay because they want to like have representation of.
There's a movie where Pete Davidson's gay in it. It's pretty
really?
fucking funny. Because you wouldn't think it's him, you know what I mean?
I thought I'd seen every movie he was in.
No, it's pretty. There's
only been in a couple.
There's like a big budget one coming out here.
I know, with Bill Burr.
That one looks pretty good.
Did you watch the more recent one with him in it?
No.
I don't know what it's about. He's like friends with a little kid or something.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, it's a pretty good. It's called like, I don't know what it's called at all. I just know Pete Davidson's in it.
Good one.
Yeah, but anyway, if Arnold was like Arnold would have been a good like Pete Davidson part. Like, what if he played that part
on like Saturday Night Live?
No, you know how Pete Davidson plays like himself, kind of in movies. He's like kind of a slacker, like
yeah.
Like Arnold played those kind of parts, kind of. I mean, he couldn't be too much of a loser in movies because he is like this muscle. But you can't be like his part is he sits around on the couch watching TV all day. But it's like you can't and look like that.
No.
But he did play like really normal parts. That's why I said it doesn't surprise me that they got Peter Dinklage playing a normal person. Because in the history of Hollywood, midgets are in everything, but they only play like fairies or like munchkins or elves.
In one of the Avengers movies, he was a giant dwarf. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
Where he's in it, and he's a little guy, clearly, but he's a huge guy. Like, he's a giant.
Even if they do something with like the scale to make it look like he's huge, he still looks like a midget.
Yeah.
You can just look in his eyes and see it.
Yeah, I mean, like his legs and his torso, and it's all like off.
But I think he's the kind that's like healthy, though. You know, there's some kinds of people that.
I was thinking that when I was watching, I was like, is he gonna like live for a while?
I mean,
he's a good actor.
He runs around and stuff.
Like,
waddles, but I mean
trots.
But remember, I used to watch fucking Little People Big World. I was obsessed with it, and the dad had like there was something wrong with him. Like, sure, he was little, but also like his fingers didn't work, and he had braces on his legs, and
yeah.
Like, there was something... Peter Dinklage, like, runs around and shit.
He was like a little Forrest Gump.
Except that he never got out of those...
Like Forrest Bump.
He came out when his mom took a Forrest dump.
That's ridiculous.
Hey, stupid. I always, like, identified with those kids because I was like that when I was a kid.
Stupid?
Yeah. If I was a kid... When I was a kid...
Even though you looked like the kid...
That played
off
Forrest
of
Gump.
that, yeah. The braces?
And kind of
right?
But I identify with it because if people would watch it, they're like, those bullies are so mean. It's like, yeah, but when you're a kid and there's a retard, you make fun of him. I mean, nowadays, I guess they don't. Nowadays, they're all like...
they give him, like, shoes or something? You know what I mean? See those videos where...
I think those videos of cool kids giving cool clothes to, like, the kid that has no money that dresses like shit, I think they're making fun of him. I think that's what they're doing. Sure, they're getting all this love on, like...
I think it's just because, like, that's what you would do.
No, I think they're like, hey, look, we gave the fucking retard some nice shoes.
They're like, look
at him wearing them. Look, he's wearing them.
Yeah.
I think it's like that. Maybe it is just what I would do. I don't know.
Because, like, they're like, look, that's pretty cool, right? They're like, everyone's like, oh, look at that. These great citizens. You know what I mean? And then you're all like, yeah, there's some kind of...
You know, the shirt probably says, like, fag on the back of it or something. But maybe kids aren't like that.
After he washes it once, it rinses off that layer of, like, you know, that's cover up.
Yeah, there's just a piece of tape over it. But I think you hear that kids aren't as much like that anymore. And I guess I don't want my son to get bullied. He did one day, though, at school, and I wanted to, like, go beat up a kid.
Yeah.
Because that's how you feel, you know?
I've heard of stuff from my son, too, yeah.
It sucks, dude.
Yeah.
He came... because
you don't want them, like, feeling that way at all.
Ever, yeah. Even though...
And I'm like, damn, I used to pick on people.
Yeah, I know.
I got a lot.
But,
you know, it was normally not to their face, though. You know, I mean, I don't know if that makes it any better. You normally make fun of the guy behind his back.
Yeah, that's...
So he can't hear.
That's the nice thing to do.
You know?
But for straight up, when I was in junior high...
The main thing to do is to give him free clothes and shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he knows. He's like, he don't know what it is.
Your point now...
Yeah, there's something about
that
it.
You have such a good life.
He's like, I'm sorry I wore the same shirt all 3 years of high school. But, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean you gotta go buy me a new one.
The funny thing is, I see it from both...
They're like, no, this is because you stink, dude.
I think, yeah, that's...
Right?
But the funny thing about it is I can identify with both sides of that because I definitely picked on people, especially in junior high. Mm-hmm. But I also was the poor kid that wore fucking holes in my boots.
That's why you picked on people, is to make fun of... Of course. You gotta make fun of yourself.
Of course. You have to deflect.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting here looking like, smelling like the fucking... What's the guy with the lines coming off of him on Charlie Brown? Mm-hmm. I gotta find a fucking target to, like... I gotta move some of the jeers towards this other dork. But I remember at a time, I straight up bullied a kid. Mm-hmm. There was this guy in our school. He clearly, like... He came from, like, something... Like a bad family life. Mm-hmm. And he was always, like, never did his homework, and he smelled, and he, like, had a weird haircut, and he was real poor, and, like... Everybody...
Was you?
No, I had all that too, except this.
You're like, oh, this is memoir.
I'm reading the wrong notes. No, that describes me. But I was popular in junior high. In high school, not very much. Mm-hmm. But in junior high, because I went to such a small school, and I'd known all these kids our whole lives, and I was like one of the ones that was like good at sports and all that. So I was kind of popular. This kid moved in later on, so he went to school with us starting in like 7th grade. And he was just like, he was one of those kids that would always like make up like crazy lies to try to make us like him. And you knew he was full of shit.
He was like, I'm rich.
He would say shit like that, and like we rode the bus.
He really would.
Yeah, like he would talk about like, my dad, he bought me this thing, but I can't show y'all. But it'd be some night. He's like, he bought me a new CD player, whatever was cool back then.
I was friends with someone like that.
And so this dude, we rode on the same school bus.
We got like 10 Ferraris.
Yeah, they would say shit.
They're hiding behind the trailer house.
Yeah, his trailer house was like just a rundown piece of shit trailer house. Yeah. And for me to say that, it's bad because we grew up in rundown piece of shit trailer houses. But anyway,
laying on its side. Right?
Yeah, he has to open the top. It's like a hatch on a tank to get in his fucking trailer house. But I would make fun of him. I'm definitely like, because I was like kind of abused at home, but also to like deflect. Mm-hmm. Because I saw a lot of me in him, Mm-hmm. But anyway, I straight up 6 inches. I was in 7th grade, 4 inches. But I remember straight up bullying him, like making fun of him to his face to the point where he like wanted to fight me and then beating him up. Like I was very bad. Like that's a terrible thing to do. I knew I could beat him up. I had no fear of.
Did you ever put your knee on his neck?
No, but one time he had this necklace that he was always like.
Was it a white dude?
Yeah, it was a white dude.
Oh, okay.
He had this necklace.
It might have been a hate crime. Yeah. I forgot to ask what race.
For the purposes of this podcast, this was a white dude. No, he was definitely white, but it was all whites at my school. Come on.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It sounds like that's the only kind of school you'd go to.
Oh, not my school.
When you said that, you're like, it's all whites at my school.
I act like I went to a private school.
Yeah.
But no, it was a shitty country school. But in high school, yeah, we were very diverse. But here it was all whites. Anyway, he had this necklace that he would always wear. It had like a cross on it or something. He would always have like a green line on his neck because it was like fake gold. Mm. And not like I could afford gold or any of us had gold really. But I remember he was like, I had like goaded him in to like talking shit back to me one day and got him so mad just from straight making fun of him in front of everybody that he like got up in my face. And I remember, I'll never forget, and I feel like terrible for this. I grabbed him by his necklace and pulled and hit him. Like, pulled him to me and hit him. And broke his necklace and threw his necklace on it, like, at him. That is terrible.
Yeah, he's telling someone else a story right now about, like, loading a gun.
He's probably telling a story. He's like, yeah, this bully, he grabbed my necklace, but when he did, I did, like, this karate chop. And
how long ago did you find out that he killed himself?
He might have.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. It's like... It might have been like the start of it.
He probably thought, he's like, dude, that guy Jeremy.
He might have moved to like Colorado or something.
He didn't move. He didn't finish.
Right, you're like, oh, hold on.
He didn't like finish 8th grade with us. I don't think. I think he was there for like 7th and part of 8th grade.
Yeah.
But he probably
he's homeschooled now in his closet with a rope.
Still.
He had a stack of books underneath his feet.
He's doing his homework. He's Googling best ways to kill yourself. He might be dead. And the shitty thing looking back on it is he probably looked to me as like a friend because I was more popular than him, but also I was like real poor, dressed like shit, and probably smelled bad and all that. So he's probably like, oh, this guy could be like my in, and I just like bullied him. Like we used to.
He's like, I'm definitely gonna get with all the other guys. They're all rich.
Yeah, exactly. Because there were a lot of like upper middle class. Did you ever
buy him shoes?
No. Dude, if I could buy shoes, I would have put them on. I'm over here walking on my heels so my socks don't get wet. But I know that we have at least some listeners on this that went to high school with me. Mm-hmm. And they're probably thinking like, yeah, Jeremy wasn't like a bully. Because in high school, I was completely different.
Like, oh, he was definitely a bully.
No, I don't think that anybody would say that.
Jeremy, I don't remember that name. Was he the bully? Like, they remember that you were the bully, but not your name?
They say my name and they start pulling their underwear
down. They called you Jeremine?
They should have. That's pretty good. That's not bad. But yeah, that dude's name was Matt.
Jeremine Madley?
Yeah, the dude's name was Matt.
You're like, stop picking on me. You're going to be hanging in a minute.
Yeah. We would call him Fat Matt. And
oh, you've told me about that before.
Yeah, stuff like that. We were
a fat guy that
yeah, he was
makes it even.
He was fatter than me, and I was like
fat, poor. I mean, it's like
if you're fat, poor, smell bad, you have like a weird like you know the haircut that in Lethal Weapon that what's his name had Riggs. It's like a mullet, but it's like curly all the way. He had that kind of hair.
Oh, God.
In the late 90s, not in the early 90s when it would have been okay to have that. This is like in 98, 97. Mm-hmm. And anyway, so there was this other girl that we bullied. Her name was Amanda. I was almost said her last name. I'd rather not. But she had like this real curly, like permy hair. Mm. She was fat and poor and gross. Like, gross. This was an age when boys are extremely horny, and it would be laughable if you said to your friends, I want to fuck Amanda. They would all laugh like you're like fucking Richard Pryor. Like, but we would call her the froho because her hair was kind of froey. Mm. And so we would sit in class and throw a little piece of paper in it and see how many we could get stuck in her hair before she
They might have been like a little dual hanging session there. You know what I mean?
They're bouncing off each other like wind chimes. Yeah. There were quite a few in junior high that we bullied. But see, I got my comeuppance because when I got to high school, I wasn't in a school where I'd known everybody since we were 5.
Yeah. My
natural, like, fucking, like, quiet, you know, however, whatever, anxiety shit really affected me there because I was in a big school where I didn't know very many people.
Mine was opposite. I went from one that was you know, a decent size to
a
way
smaller school, which is a better move.
Like, yes.
You got to a school and then you're like kind of funny and you hung out.
It was like fucking Silvertown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, it was like perfect.
You just went there and ruined it.
Yes.
But we used to...
Bronzetown.
I was kind of a bully for sure, and then you get, you know, cut to high school, and I didn't get bullied or anything like that. Mm. Although one time a kid made fun of me because I was standing there holding my drink like this. Mm. And I remember him making fun of me, and it still sits with me.
Up high and close to you, so you never hold your drink?
Like I was walking around holding my drink.
You kind of held it like Trump?
Yeah.
You see the video where he drinks it with both hands?
He's like...
And then it's like, does he not want to run his makeup? That's what I'm thinking it is.
That's what a lot of people say.
He's trying not to get like his makeup smeared or something.
Well, I was just holding it because I'm a normal kid holding a Coke, but I was holding it up close to my chest like this, and I saw a guy make fun of me.
He didn't want his tangerine foundation to get
smeared. Yeah, I didn't have tangerine foundation. I probably had a quick foundation of dirt.
Yeah.
But yeah, in high school, I wasn't like that at all because I was the little fish in a big pond, whereas I used to be. I was the biggest guy in the school. I was one of the athletes. I'd been there forever. I knew when that Matt guy, when I was going to beat him up, there wasn't any possible scenario in which he beat me up. Mm-hmm. So I was being a bully. That's what a bully does. Mm-hmm. But what I was saying with my son, he was telling me that he wants blocks. He's always telling me, I want blocks. He has Legos, but he wants just regular blocks you stack up, like babies play with. And he's like, at school I like to play with blocks. He's like, but one day I was playing the Alamo, and a big kid asked me what I was playing, and I said the Alamo, and he said that doesn't look like the Alamo, and he knocked him over.
Oh gosh.
I know, but I was like, yeah, clenched my fist. I was like, don't ever let somebody push you around like
that. Was he Mexican?
He might have been. That's a pretty good chance.
He's gonna never forget this.
Yeah.
Right? So, all right. Whenever I was in school, we bullied, of course. But there was this one kid, right? He was in my grade. He was very smart.
Too smart?
Like one of those, he's like the class, nerd or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like in athletics and shit like that too. But even that, he was nerdy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
so
know.
It's like he does that. He tries. He wants to be one of the guys, but he's the nerdy one.
But you know what it is? It's because
everyone made fun of him.
It's because you went to a small school. At a big school, he wouldn't have been able to be in athletics.
Well, I found this, and I pounced, right? But like all 4 years of high school, I made fun of him. And but he was like,
we all did. This is an audio only podcast, but if you could be in the room right now, the pride on his face.
Yeah.
He's like,
oh, we were cool though.
He's like, all 4 years I made fun of him. And you had like a twinkle in your eye. Like
it wasn't like he's going to kill himself at the end of it. It's more of like I never gave him a chance kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like we'd go to I think later in high school he went to parties too. Like started showing up. Like maybe his mom let him get out, because he's 17 now or something. Yeah. But anyways, I used to make fun of him like a nonstop if he's in the classroom. Like if he stuttered through something, I'd do it too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
that's a kid.
Bullshit stuff. But anyways, he was really, really smart, and he said something our freshman year that he wanted to play chess. And he was like the best one in chess, beat everybody. Well, I played him and I won.
Oh, God.
Right? Because when I was in 8th grade, I learned from a friend of mine when we lived in the other school. So I'd only played a couple times. And then he's like, oh, let's play. So we played in English or something like that, and I beat him. And he's like, I'm going to end up practicing, and we're going to play. And I was just like, this is like the 4th time I've ever played. You know what I mean? And he was like, I've won 800 something,
Oh, God.
He was in a club, not a chess club, but it was like a club for something else.
Did you bully him? He went to move his pawn, and you looked at him? And
that was freshman year. Once I did that, I was like, he's the smart one in the class. You know what I mean? So we didn't play again until our senior year. And then I think it was actually at project graduation. I don't know if they have that everywhere, but you're all hanging out at night.
Yeah, you stay after you graduate all night
until 7 in the morning. They let everybody go. We played again that night, and I beat him.
Oh God!
And it's just I'm never gonna play him again. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna.
You're 2-0 against the guy.
I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah, you can't.
He probably definitely beat me now. I'm definitely out of practice. Yeah. But maybe he just sucks. But he probably just beat everybody.
He probably just sits in practice all day with a picture of you across from him.
Yeah.
He plays both sides with a picture of you on the other side.
And he plays a lot harder when he's playing my side.
Yeah.
Because he knows that I would probably still win.
Every time he makes a mistake, he hits himself on the back with a whip to he's like, this will never happen again.
At the end of the whip, it's got an engraved thing with my face on it. Yeah. I like to picture that. Right? No, anyways. He's got brass knuckles and it's just a white across it, and he punches him in the face.
He's trying to toughen himself up.
I think he's married and maybe has a kid now, but I mean, he was a pretty decent guy.
Yeah, he has a kid.
He made fun of him because everyone else did.
He has a kid, but you have 2 kids.
You're
still beating him.
He's like, damn it. Right? He's like, checkmate. He's like, maybe I could still have one,
Oh, shit.
His wife's like, I'm leaving you. You're too obsessed with this white guy.
Yeah. Right? She's like, you talk about him when we're fucking.
Yeah. Anyways. So it's not like I made fun of him because I hated him or nothing. It's just everyone did. So I joined the group, and then eventually I was the one that made the more.
If I know you, and
they're like, yeah, come on, Dwight, he's not that bad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I'm like, I thought it was funny. I'm gonna keep going until this.
That's what I was thinking. If I know you, you're not gonna leave it at a few jokes. You're trying to push him to suicide.
Yeah.
You're just everybody else is like, come on, man, he's a pretty cool guy.
And I'm hoping he takes a couple people down with him. Right?
His one kid.
Yeah.
What a fucking loser. But yeah.
Bullying, though, it is sad when I hear about bullying and stuff. I never thought what I did was bullying. I thought it was just joking around.
What you're doing is a little different, though. There's classic bullying.
There's the ones that are I'm going to beat you up at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, there's that.
That's different.
I guess I did that once or twice.
I never did anything like that. It was always more of a joking, they knew it's a love to hate kind of thing. I know she's joking with me, but it's just annoying.
You just won't quit. It's
what I mean?
So annoying.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
I love it.
I lived with you most of your life.
I love it.
But it isn't. When you think about when I think about my kids, somebody picking on kids his age making jokes over and over is what I don't care about that. Mm-hmm. Bigger kids pushing over his blocks, that annoyed me.
I'm sure this kind of still happens. But I feel like it probably doesn't happen as much as it did back then, and even more so before we were.
I think there's definitely way less bullying now.
Yeah.
I think there's online bullying, which of course we didn't have.
Yeah.
But as far as pushing kids in lockers and shit, because the school has these strict policies against it now.
I think that too, but I think also people were able to release onto social media.
Yeah.
So they can go post something. They can be themselves-ish or a fake themselves out there, and then at school they could just go and do stuff.
I guess there is something to that, because you can you can go, like, you have all this frustration, and you can go on there and be like, your mom's a fucking cunt, whore, faggot, you know? And you can type that in and let out
you go Google, you're like, how many parents are cunt whores? And you're like, oh shit, like 80%.
Well, it's at least half.
That's not bad.
All the moms.
I'm one of 80%.
Yeah.
Right?
But what I'm saying is, they can do that, so they put more of their energy into that, and then, of course, that pushes some kids to suicide, I guess, but... Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's hard to say because I didn't have that shit when I was a kid. But I feel like I would rather somebody start a rumor that I'm gay on Facebook when I was in high school than beat me up every day and steal my lunch money. You know what I mean? I know that there's kids that kill themselves because of...
Like, come on, Jeremy, 75 cents, that's all you got?
Hey? I wish I had 75 cents. But...
You had the free lunches, right?
Yeah. Oh, dude. How I didn't get bullied in junior high? Because I went to the same school from kindergarten all the way through 8th grade. Mm-hmm. That's why I said I knew everybody.
Yeah, same grade. Yeah. It was like, they just kept calling it something
8 years of kindergarten.
They're like, no, Jeremy, B comes after A.
Yeah. So,
and there's not a 3 in the alphabet.
Yeah. So anyway, I went to this small school. So for every morning, they would do like roll call. And they say, like, Dwight, and you say, here. Or you would say, but they would, when they did roll call, that's how they would mark how many lunches they needed for the day, like, to make. So if you brought your lunch, you would say you brought your, like, Dwight, here, brought my lunch, right? Mm-hmm. Or eating in the cafeteria, which means you're paying for it. Mm-hmm. But me, I was always eating in the cafeteria because it was free. Mm-hmm. And so I would always say just something. They'd be like, Jeremy, and I was like, cafeteria or something. Like, I was embarrassed about it, but I would just say, like, but they knew. They already knew they knew I was a free lunch. I may have been the only one or one of the few in the class.
Everyone else had to pay like 25 cents more, and they're like, this is bullshit. Right?
Why are we having to feed Fatty?
They're like, why do lunch prices go down when Jeremy graduated? Right?
Yeah,
when they go up?
They probably did. And I would always steal extra milks and shit, so I really fucked the system. But yeah. But I would have to. You have to say it every day. Yeah. And the teacher would always. Sometimes I would say, like, it's like if it was a substitute. Mm-hmm. So they would do it, and they would have. There's like a thing where they have your name, and they check that you're there, and then next to it they check your lunch. Yeah. Whether you're buying lunch or brought your lunch. So then it would always be a thing with the teacher be like, Jeremy, and I'm like, here, like whatever lunch, and she's like, did you bring your lunch or are you buying lunch? And like everybody in the class knew, I guess, and they would kind of laugh, and I was like, fuck y'all. I'm going to beat the shit out of Matt later to get y'all back for this. But I would have to be like, no, it's like free or something. I'd have to say it, and it fucking sucked. And it sucks too, because if I didn't have free lunch, I would make fun of the kids that did back then. For sure I would. Mm. But it's not like I couldn't afford it. None of these kids had money. My parents sucked. Yeah. That's what was the problem.
Like, his parents are poor, so he's poor.
Yeah. They're like,
that's how that is, though. That's why, like, I feel like with my kids, before I even had kids, before I even had, like, a wife and all that, I was just like, I don't want my kids to be, like, poor.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know? So it's like, I wanted to have, like, at least a decent job or something and maintain it, have a house, and not have to worry about bills.
It's like a 20 man in the stock market.
Yeah, almost. But I mean, like, I didn't want to have to, like, worry about bills. And we're not. We're comfortable,
Well, we've had, like...
So we were never comfortable, like that when we were kids. I mean, I guess you felt comfortable, but you only know what you know. So it's like, we're poor. There can't be anything different.
Well, we lived most of both of our childhoods.
And then you go visit, like, friends.
Yeah.
Right, of course, when I was in school, my friends were even poorer than
you had poor friends, yeah.
So it's like, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Well, because by the time you were in junior high, there was like a 2 or 3 year span where we had a little bit of money. Yeah. Because of who Mom married for a while. Yeah. And so it was different. But generally, like, we would go to our friends or our cousins or some house, and it was like, holy shit.
I'm like, what is a PlayStation?
Dude, what is food in the cabinets?
Yeah, PlayStation is where I have, like, my Legos in the corner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that was my station of playing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, Fruit Roll-Ups was a piece of bologna, Yeah. Mom's like, you can roll it. But, yeah, so you would see how, but we lived, like, looking back on it, especially now, we were in abject poverty most of our childhood. Mm-hmm. Like, extremely poor. And I think that's what pushed me, like my son, like, we're not, like, well off or anything like that, but my son, like, wears nice shoes, dresses nice,
Oh, fuck all that. I mean, I buy decent
No, your
stuff.
kids are the same. Your kids are always dressed nice.
Yeah, I'm not going to go spending a lot like name brand shit, though.
Oh, he has some name brand stuff, but mostly just...
Yeah.
But he has, like...
It's also, though, we can't be taking all the credit. Like, Walmart had shit stuff.
I know. You can get nice clothes at Walmart now.
Now you can get
nice looking clothes.
Nice looking clothes, yes.
That is fine until you get...
And it's going to be different from Walmart to Walmart sometimes.
But also, it's still...
So it used to be like, you could tell that this shirt came from Walmart. It might as well just say Walmart on the front of it.
You could tell it came from our hometown Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it used to be like, even if your grandma got you something, it's like, we have the same striped shirts at our Walmart. You know? You wear it, everyone knows you got that shit from Walmart.
I remember our grandma got us flea market Tommy Hilfiger shirts. Mm-hmm. Like all of us.
It said Tammy Hilfiger?
No, it might have been spelled wrong. It's the only Tommy Hilfiger shit I ever saw up close. I thought that's how you spelled it. Mm-hmm. But she got it from the flea market, and I would like wear it to school sometimes. And I know
it's like Tommy, like it's IE.
It's Thomas Hilfiger. But this was like in the mid to late 90s when that shit was popular, you know?
Johnny Hilfiger.
But,
anyway.
Hellfinger or something.
Keep going.
Yeah. But, he has a long enough name, it's easy to...
Yeah.
But, anyway, my son, he likes to dress, like, what he picks when he dresses himself is, like, his, like, jeans and, like, some kind of, like, boots and, like, a button-up nice shirt. Like, that's what he picks. When I was a kid, I wouldn't have even thought to have that option.
Yeah.
I was just wearing, like, whatever.
But they got, like nice-looking clothes in their closet. Yeah,
your kids, every time I see your kids, they have clean, nice clothes on. Their shoes aren't talking when they walk like ours used to.
No.
Like, and that's what it is. We grew up so poor, is that you're, like, I can remember having, like, when my son was first born, and he was just like a little, he could fit in a fucking baseball glove. Mm-hmm. Actually, yours could. Mine was hang out both ends, but he was this little tiny thing, and I remember looking at him and being like, you'll never wonder if you have a meal. Because we did, you know? We didn't have stuff to eat a lot of time. So, and I remember looking at him and saying...
Look at us and think that now. Like,
Mom
you guys have never missed a meal.
Yeah, but Mom used to look at us, she's like, most of the time you're probably going to have plenty to eat most of the time.
I'm surprised we've never been eating on a podcast.
Yeah, I know, drinking. We're drinking right now.
Maybe been something like left in my teeth or something.
Oh, yeah, I had ribs today. There's still ribs in my teeth. The bones. I have big gaps.
So, anyways.
So the point, what I was going to get to was, do you think it would even, because our kids, have such they're like middle class little assholes, do you think that it would even occur to them to make fun of some other kid? Because they don't have that, when you were a kid, or I was a kid, you had that...
My son will make fun of us.
I'll show them attitude, right?
But, like, my son's very, very... I think my daughter will, yes. But I think my son's very...
Yeah, she's exactly like you.
My son's very kind.
Yeah.
Like, he'll go out of his way to go hold a door open for somebody and stuff like that, you know?
Queer.
You know what I mean? But he'll, like, do that. You know, he's that kind of...
So you don't think he'll ever knock a kid's books out of his hand when he's walking down the hall late?
I mean, like, I hope.
I know. Right? Don't you kind of?
I hope. I definitely. No, kind of. I hope he does, you know? I hope that exact scenario happens. Like, I hope he, like, holds the door open, and just when they're fixing to get there, knocks the books out and then slams the door.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? No, but for real, I think my daughter will. I mean, since she's pretty, she might as well.
Oh, yeah, she is. She's pretty.
And she knows it.
And she's...
she knows she is.
Yeah, so she's going to be like...
She likes looking in the mirror and all
like
that.
Like when a boy talks to her, she's
annoying.
Like... She's just going to like, fuck you. She like lets some boy like leads him on just to like get him to go to prom and...
Well, she does that.
They dump his blood on his head.
And I'm all like, oh, yeah. She was like, can I eat some cookies?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
No. And she's like, dude. Like, it didn't work. But then she's perfectly fine seconds later.
Let her eat all the cookies she wants, so you don't have to worry about the pretty thing anymore. Yeah. They're like, Mason has a really pretty face.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to be one of those.
She lost about a bill.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm like, yep.
Yeah. But the only way she's losing 100 pounds is if they cut her leg off.
Yeah.
But but yeah, she will have that. She's gonna be a mean, pretty girl probably.
Yeah.
But your son though, yeah, he is sweet. But I just wonder if
that's gonna like flip.
If he's gonna have like my son is real funny. Like he's got like a funny gene like we have. Mm-hmm. But he's sweet as fuck, and I don't see him Like, I don't see him seeing how many pieces of paper he can stick in Froho's
I think
head.
like something happens in like a kid's life where it's that breaking point where, like, not that they don't give a fuck, but it's like they see that they can get away with, or it's got to be that first time. It's got to be when he's older, where he says something he probably shouldn't,
and gets a big laugh. Yeah.
And then he's like, and he's addicted. That's where every comedian. At some point
dude,
they get that. They said something and they're like, "Oh, I can't believe it," and everyone laughs. They're like, "Hell yeah!"
Nothing feels better than saying the exact opposite thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you shouldn't say saying something so fucked up you shouldn't say it. Nothing feels better than that. But then when you do that and get a laugh, it's fucking game over. You're going to be doing a podcast with your brother when you're pushing 40.
Yeah,
getting laughs from fucking random strangers. But I remember, and I probably talked about it on here back on the old episodes that I hope nobody listens to. My first laugh. My first big laugh. I was in like 7th grade. And we're sitting in the whole school. I was in that little school. The whole school's in the cafeteria. It's like our auditorium.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the principal is up and he's announcing the winners from this track meet we had. Or he's announcing something like upcoming thing and he's making sure we know it. Mm-hmm. And he's like, does anybody have any other questions? And the famous song of the time was one of those Puff Daddy songs. And so he's like, does anybody have any questions? I raised my hand and I was like, does Puff got the ladies from the song? Yeah. Dude, fucking the whole school that understood the reference, half the school fucking laughs. And I was just like
7 people that loved it.
I mean, honestly, I probably killed with about 50 people.
Shit.
And I was just sitting there like, I was like just feeling it, do the fucking laugh. And I was like, yeah, I need to keep doing it. I have to keep making laughs. And it got me in trouble all the time in junior high.
See, I think in junior high, I did a little bit, but there was violence in our school.
Yeah.
Very, very bad in junior high. You went to the same school, but in high school where there is, and it was maybe a little
I also didn't
violence.
act out as much in high school. I wasn't as fucking wild in high school.
Mine was completely different. Because I did move to a different school.
I mean, I was real shy. I made jokes and shit, but it was like, I didn't like get real loud. As soon as you said finish this, I got to tell you one more that was...
Yeah, see, with me though, like mine really did open up. I think I got some jokes and stuff in junior high, but I mean, in high school though, my freshman year, I'm sure like something snapped. And also, like I've said before though, I was kind of like protected. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because me and our cousin were like tough guys back then,
and everybody knew about them, so I could say whatever the fuck I wanted.
We were doing something very similar to organized crime at that time.
I can pretty much say whatever the fuck I wanted, and I would get away. No one would even bat an eyelash, you know. But anyways.
Oh yeah, what I was gonna say, another one. I didn't get a lot of laughs, but it felt so good. Mm-hmm. And this is bullying 101. This is high school. Again, I know we have some listeners that I went to high school with. They're gonna know who I'm talking about, but I won't say names. There was a girl that went to our school that was anorexic. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking like, we always make jokes that your wife's skinny, like half her size. I mean, she weighed like 80 pounds, which is not really half her wife's size, but I'm saying she was so bony and skinny and just, like, she was sickly and she had a real problem. Like, it was an issue. Anyway, I was sitting in, like, the mall area, like, the middle part of the school, and she was walking by and there was, like, some people around. And I just made, like, a couple of fat jokes. I just thought it was so funny because that's what...
I mean, I get it.
The reason it's funny is because she's not fat, obviously. Yeah. And I was just like, look at this big bitch. You need to lay off a lunch today or something like that. And I got like a couple little laughs. But she heard me and a teacher heard me.
Oh, wow.
And it was pretty serious. They were pretty upset. And then they said, they were like, I can't believe you made fun of, so-and-so. And I was like, I wasn't making fun of her. I was like, yeah, I was making fun of her. But I was trying to explain to her, like, the premise of the joke is that she's not fat. Mm-hmm. But because she was anorexic and not just... If she was a skinny, hot girl, and I said that, they would have been like, yeah, I get it. She's not fat. But this, they're like, come on, man. Yeah. She thinks she's fat. That's why she's so skinny. But I was just like, look at this big bitch trying to hurry up to get to lunch or whatever I said. And it was like pretty serious trouble. But it got like... It didn't even get like a roar like my Mace joke got. My Puff Daddy joke. But it just got a couple people sitting around me kind of like the little shoulder bounce laugh.
Yeah.
That's good enough for me.
They're in trouble because they laughed.
Well, it was me that was in trouble.
So, I remember like my first, like making fun of somebody. My first bullying. I think I was in like first grade. Mm-hmm. We were riding the bus. And where we lived, it was way far away from the school and out of town. I was usually the last one off the bus.
Just so when we lived Not around here, right?
Yeah, way.
Yeah, okay. I was trying to
So,
make it
anyways,
in my head, yeah.
I was like, for like a year, the last person, like all school year, I was the last person off the bus, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Because I was the first one on, last one off. You know, it was awesome. And then this girl moved in down the street. All right, and I think her little sister or something like that.
If she lives down our street, she deserved to get bullied.
So, anyways, now she was the first one on, and
you hated her for it.
And I think I hated her for that, yeah. but I think I might have liked her because she was pretty or something,
yeah.
right? So there was
I wonder if she's hot now.
This one day she came, she got on the bus, or whatever, and or I got on the bus and she was on there, and she always tried to be real nice because we were in the same class. Right, and she had a new haircut.
She saw your long finger. She's like, I bet that dick is nice.
Yeah, she was 6, right? And so was it. No. So, anyways, 6 then. God damn, right?
Oh, yeah, no shit. 6 now. What are you talking about?
So, anyways, so we're sitting there, and she has this new haircut. She probably couldn't wait for me to see it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she got on the bus and she probably tapped her on a little fucking
What'd she have? The racial?
I don't fucking remember. I think she had kind of reddish blonde hair.
Oh, this would have been early 90s.
You know what I mean? I think she had reddish blonde hair.
Oh, strawberry pubes. I like it.
Anyways, we're sitting there. I get on there. She's got this hair, and I don't. Maybe that day I was really mad because she was, and she said something.
You were
about
jealous because she got on the bus before you.
We sat right behind the bus driver.
You Rosa Parks.
We were young,
Yeah.
We were either right behind or 2 rows behind.
I would have bullied you for sitting that far.
Mr. Gertis could definitely hear us. Right? I mean, we're the only fucking people on the bus.
Yeah.
So she said something about her hair or whatever. Right? I made a joke.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was, but she started crying.
You think it was funny?
I probably just said it was ugly, or I didn't know. You know what I mean?
You weren't even going for a joke. Yeah. Your hair's ugly.
I think I was just, you don't know what you're really saying.
You don't know how to structure a joke when you're 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said something about it, and she started crying. Well, I ended up getting a referral.
Damn.
Remember they used to call that?
Yeah, referral. That means they referred you to the principal, I think.
Yeah, and that was from the bus driver.
Yeah, I got it.
Mr. Curtis, man, I thought we were
I know, yeah.
So anyways, I guess he's I liked her hair, So, I
I really like her hair.
He was mad because I was on the bus.
Bus drivers fuck little kids.
He was mad that I wasn't sick that day.
Yeah. Right? Bus drivers fuck little kids. I don't care.
He spiked my juice the next day. No, so
and hers.
So
he spiked her juice box.
Oh shit. So anyways, I ended up they called me in the office right after I got to school,
Yeah.
I think I was actually maybe in 3rd grade.
You would have had to be because in 1st grade we lived far away. That's where I thought you were talking about it first.
Yeah, I think I was in 3rd grade because I'm trying to think of the school that it was at. I remember going in there and they had the counselor there, and he was the guy with the fucking guitar. He walked all the way around school with a guitar.
What a fag.
Anyways, they got me in there and they're like, "Why would you say that?"
You're like, because she has dumb hair.
Now I'm thinking what the fuck did I say? You know what I mean?
I know you were probably terrified too.
I'm like, Little Miss Muffet. No, anyways.
Hickory dock.
So, anyways, I don't know what I said.
Was sucking my cock. I hope nobody repeats that.
No, that's horrible. So, I don't know what I said, but they're all like, why'd you say that? Whatever. And then, you made her cry, and I think her mom came and picked her up or something. Yeah. I mean, she probably had it we were getting married.
Dude, I got a couple more now that you say that.
So, anyways,
she probably liked you.
They made me apologize.
Dude, she liked you, and when you initiated a conversation with you, you're like, "Hey, Susie." She's like, "Yes." And you're like, "Your hair sucks." It broke her little heart.
Oh, yeah.
That's way worse than me picking up a
chicks.
fat kid.
I'm sure she's a lesbian.
Now, yeah.
She's like, "You like my hair?" And they're like, "I guess it's okay." Anyways. And that everyone called me back then, they called me D.
Yeah.
So, she definitely doesn't like the D now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she's definitely a lesbo.
Yeah.
And they all have weird haircuts, so it didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But,
is yours quick?
Yeah. Okay. It's just, now that you got me on this subject, it's
bullies? We've been talking about bullies the whole damn thing.
I know, but it's a good episode. And, sad as it is, I have a lot of these.
Okay.
But, yeah, so anyway, when I always say that I went to the same school from kindergarten all the way through 8th grade.
You said it 10 times a day.
I know, but it was actually the second half of kindergarten I moved there.
Okay.
So when I first moved there...
The second half of the second time you went to kindergarten?
I only went to kindergarten once, unlike some people.
5th grade.
I failed 5th grade.
Yeah, you were there 9 years.
I failed 5th grade.
Well, hold on, 10 years.
I want to clear this up.
You went there for 10 years?
Yeah, I pretty much run that place.
Kindergarten through 8th.
Kindergarten through 8th, 10 years.
Yeah.
Because 5th grade, I had a bad home life. I didn't do homework. I failed because I failed health.
You would have got out in 9, but you didn't have good behavior. About halfway in, they included one more year to your sentence.
I had a poster of Topanga.
Probably because you couldn't write a sentence.
Yeah. So anyway, halfway through kindergarten, I moved to this new school. I didn't know anybody. Mm-hmm. And early on, in my mind, it was like the first day there. But anyway, early on, we're all sitting around in a circle at the beginning part of the class. And this little girl, Emily, who I to this day don't like. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen her in years, but to this day, I hold this against her. She had on a new dress. Mm-hmm. And it was the same as your thing. As soon as she came in, you could tell it was new. It was like a yellow.
And everybody said.
Everybody in the class was like, Emily, I like your dress. Thank you. Emily. It was like in order. And it fucking ticked. I'm still like this. I don't like to fall in line. Mm-hmm. I don't like to do what you're supposed to do. And finally, everybody had said, Emily, I like your dress, except me. And our teacher, I almost said her name. I guess it don't matter. But anyway, our teacher said, Jeremy, do you like Emily's dress? And I said, no. And she's like, well, that's rude. And I was like, I remember thinking, like, how's it rude?
Your teacher's kind of sappy, isn't she?
It wasn't her.
Oh, okay.
No, this lady's name was Miss Yarish. Ugh. Try to spell it. It's like J's and Y's.
Sounds horrible. Yeah. She should be made fun.
She had a son that was...
You're like, cool name, Miss Jarhead.
I wish I'd have thought of Jarhead. If I would have been funnier when I was 6, I would have fucking killed. Shit. But, so Miss Jarhead was like...
You're like 30 fucking years ago, right?
I come back, it's like that episode of Seinfeld where he thinks of a joke later. Uh-huh. I come back to Miss Jarhead. Anyway, she's like, why didn't you tell Emily that her dress is pretty? I was like, I was not. She's like, you need to tell her. And I was like, I'm not. And I just refused. Mm-hmm. I just sat there. It was like... You're like,
well, you're going to go to detention.
Yeah, and I was like... I didn't know what it was, but I
won't have to see her dress there.
Yeah, right? It was almost like they were like...
make her go with you? You're like, now you're punishing her? Right? She's in detention for having a nice dress? You're like, I win!
That's what the bitch gets.
You're like, I don't mind seeing it all day now.
They were like waterboarding me. They're like, say Emily's dress is nice. I was like, it's not nice. It's ugly. Shit. I never did. I never broke.
They tape your eyes open like a Clockwork Orange.
Looking at her dress.
She's right there.
I'm like, ugh.
They're like, I think this is different. This is kind of...
They're like, for one thing, Jeremy's hard. But,
so yeah, I know. To get to say...
I never did. Wow. I take pride in it. I take pride in the fact that I never said her dress was pretty. Because it wasn't even that I had... It? Yeah, probably. In my head now, when I'm imagining it, it's real, like, bright, pretty yellow with, like, white lacy trim.
Yeah, with a little silhouette.
I think it was a pretty dress.
Right?
But I didn't want to say... And I take pride into the fact to this day, I did not tell Emily she had a... If I see Emily now... And I think she has a nice dress on.
She's wearing a dress and she's walking down the street. You're like,
yeah.
The doorman's like, pretty dress.
I'm like, zoop, zoop. But I didn't. I never did. And I got, like, not trouble, because in kindergarten, you can't really get in real trouble there. It's like they don't have, like, detention and stuff like that. But I remember the teacher, like,
they just think that, I'll just tell him he's being bad and he'll start being good because he doesn't want to be...
Normally, that's
Normally the kids are like, oh, I don't want to be bad.
They're like, this child is a fucking... I was like a deviant. But I didn't, and I never...
They're like, we're going to tell your parents and they're going to take your toys away. You're like, I don't have toys.
Yeah, what are you talking about? They're not going to give you your food. And we're like, what food?
Yeah.
But I never told her she had a nice dress. And I stand by it. Mm-hmm. What the fuck does it matter if I think your dress is nice? You should have some fucking, like, self-esteem about your own fucking clothes. But I do remember that.
Is that the girl that was fat? I mean, skinny?
No. Maybe. She might have got
problems like that.
She might have been too. I didn't know.
Her dress got a little, like, small. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I didn't know her in high school because we went to different high schools, but she, I always...
She's probably hot now, dude.
Maybe, but I really doubt it. She was fucking dorky, dude.
Yeah.
Her family was like really...
Yeah, but that's some of the ones that do it, you know?
Her biggest thing was she lived right on the county line. Mm-hmm. So, like, the county line ran through her house, and she would tell us every day about how she lives in both counties.
You told me that before.
My bedroom's in this county, and my living room's in that one. I was like, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Your dumb dress sucks, and I don't care where you live. Like, I was probably mean to her sometimes, but...
That sounds like it.
Yeah, I didn't say that, but I felt that.
Yeah.
But
she's not even saying anything about it. You're thinking it during the classroom. You're like, nobody cares.
Yeah. fuck your dress. And she's like, we're 14 now. I'm like, yeah, still fuck your dress. I do remember thinking the one time, not that she was hot, but I remember like when I got to an age where I was like horny all the time. I remember thinking like, yeah, I'd probably fuck her. Like if it came down to it. But I would never tell her that. And I would never date her.
Yeah. The teacher ends up, like, she comes in the room, and then, like, the teacher's like, you look pretty, or whatever, and the other one's like, I'd fuck you. And then, like, another girl's like, I'd fuck you. And they're like, Jeremy? And you're like, nope.
I'm like, I wouldn't fuck her.
And they're like, come on, Jeremy. We know you would.
They got me up on that fucking spring mattress like Rambo in part 2.
They got her up, hiking up her dress, right? And they're like, would you fuck her? And they're like, it looks like you would.
I'm like, no. No, that was for Jessica.
They put her on you, right? And you're like, no!
They put up her ugly dress up around her shoulders.
Okay. Anyways, all right. So this has been episode 129. I think someone's going to go to jail after this one.
Yeah.
But no, so please like, subscribe, go find us on Facebook, Twitter. Become a Vibrator.
Yeah.
That is one of our pages on there. It's been getting a lot of activity.
It's like a little fan page that
has
fan page people on.
Vibrators. But
if you, like we say all the time, rate and review us on whatever platform you listen. If it's possible, do it on Apple because that's the one that we check.
Yeah.
But if you have any stories of bullying or getting bullied, leave that as your fucking like 5 stars.
We'll go over there and read it next time.
Do 5 stars and a fucking a bully story.
If you put some kind of cuss word in there, we're never gonna fucking read it though.
Yeah, you got to use like clean language in iTunes.
I'm okay with dirty language. It's just Apple isn't.
Are you?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. So, anyways, this has been episode 129. As always, if you're listening to this, you are the bad vibe.